5 True Scary Horror Stories. Story 1. The Roommate from Hell. Lindsay thought she'd struck gold when she found a new roommate. Frank seemed perfect, quiet, well off, into writing. But appearances can be deceiving, folks. At first, everything was hunky-dory. But then weird stuff started happening. Lindsay would hear creepy noises at night, footsteps on the roof, strange banging sounds. One night, she woke up to find Frank sleepwalking in her room. Talk about giving someone a heart attack. But the real nightmare was yet to come. One night, Lindsay woke up choking. Frank was on top of her, trying to strangle her. In a panic, she jammed her thumb into his eye socket. Ouch. That gave her enough time to escape and call the cops. Turns out, Frank's nice guy act was all smoke and mirrors. He had a rap sheet longer than a CVS receipt and had threatened people for good references. The lesson? Always do your homework on potential roommates, folks. You never know what kind of wackadoo might be hiding behind a friendly smile. Story 2. The Dorm Room Horror. Our next tale takes us to a college dorm, where a shy girl named Sybil was about to have the worst semester ever. Her roommate noticed Sybil acting like she'd lost her marbles, pulling out her hair, talking nonsense. But she chalked it up to stress from classes. Big mistake. One night, the roommate woke up to find Sybil packing a suitcase at 3 a.m. like she was late for a flight to Crazy Town. Before she could ask what in tarnation was going on, Sybil turned around and sliced her own throat with a razor blade. Can you imagine witnessing something so messed up? The poor roommate was left shaken to her core, wondering if she could have done something to stop this tragedy. It's a grim reminder that mental health issues can be lurking just below the surface, and we should always take signs of distress seriously. Story 3. The Date from Hell. Now, let's talk about a story that'll make you think twice about swiping right. A 21-year-old guy decided to dip his toes into the online dating pool, hoping to find his soulmate. He matched with a drop-dead gorgeous girl named Gwen, and they hit it off like a house on fire. They met up for a date, and things seemed to be going smoother than butter on a bald monkey. But then Gwen suggested they go for a moonlit stroll in a secluded park. Romantic, right? Wrong. As they walked deeper into the park, our Romeo started getting major creep vibes. Suddenly, a group of guys jumped out of the bushes and started beating the living daylights out of him. Turns out, the whole date was a setup. Gwen and her goon squad robbed him blind and left him tied to a tree. The moral of the story? Maybe stick to meeting people the old-fashioned way, at bars where you can see the crazy coming from a mile away. Story 4. The Haunted House Helper. Our fourth tale comes from a teacher working in a school built in the 1940s. Spooky enough already, right? But wait, it gets better. This teacher's classroom had a closet that was the epicenter of some serious paranormal activity. We're talking knocking sounds, papers mysteriously scattered on the floor, the whole 9 yards. One day, a student casually mentioned seeing a little girl ghost near the closet. Because that's totally normal, right? But things really kicked into high gear when the teacher's colleague reported hearing children laughing in the empty classroom at night. The cherry on top of this ghost Sunday? One day, the closet door, which had never been locked before, suddenly wouldn't budge. When it finally opened on its own in the middle of class, you can bet your bottom dollar everyone freaked out. So if you're job hunting and see an opening at an old school, maybe think twice before applying. Unless you're into impromptu games of hide and seek with Casper, that is. Story 5. The Valentine's Day Visitor. Our final story is a Valentine's Day tale that'll make you appreciate being single. A woman decided to surprise her hardworking fiancé with a romantic dinner. She popped out to the store, leaving her door unlocked because, hey, she'd only be gone for 10 minutes. Big mistake. When she got back, something felt off. She caught a whiff of cologne, which was weird because her fiancé didn't wear any. But she brushed it off and went about her day. When her fiancé got home, he went upstairs to freshen up and suddenly stopped dead in his tracks. There were muddy footprints in the bathroom and wet prints in the shower. The spare room door was shut tight, held from the inside. Turns out, some creep had snuck in while she was at the store and had been hiding in their house all day. Talk about an uninvited guest. The fiancé managed to overpower the intruder until the cops arrived. The scariest part? The woman had been alone in the house with this weirdo all afternoon. She even used the bathroom right next to where he was hiding. And there you have it, folks. 5 true tales that'll make you think twice about, well, pretty much everything. Thanks for tuning into another episode of Scaratastic. If you enjoyed these tales of terror, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. And hey, if you've got any spooky stories of your own, drop them in the comments below.